Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome to it. Thanks for being with us. We got the latest on Israel for you, of course. I mean, it's horrific, the things we're hearing that took place over the weekend in Israel. Here is one reporter's account, in fact, of what's going on over there.
David, it's hard to even explain exactly just the mass casualties that happened right here. In fact, the Israeli military says they still don't have a clear number, but I'm talking to some of the soldiers and they say what they've witnessed as they've been walking through these different houses, these different communities, babies, their heads cut off. That's what they said. Gunned down, families completely gunned down in their beds. You can see some of these soldiers right now comforting each other. Many of them reserves who jumped into action, leaving their own families behind as well, not knowing the sheer horror that they were about to come to. They say they've never experienced anything like this. This is nothing that anyone could have even imagined when you're walking through here. Baby cribs thrown to the side. Doors thrown wide open. Still some Israeli bodies still here because the fighting in this community just ended just recently. So many of these troops are still going house to house, door to door. It's taken them sometimes 30 minutes, 40 minutes because many of these houses are also still have grenades in them, booby traps. In fact, as we're trying to get closer to some of these scenes, we're being told, no, get back from some of these Israeli military because there are still grenades in the area. I want us to keep walking through, continue to kind of see the destruction that's happening on the ground here. Even something as simple as a soccer net just left to the side here as people were with their families playing. I see in the distance more bodies being covered. All the while as they're covering these Israeli bodies trying to evacuate everyone else from the territory, taking all of the casualties out of here. It's also littered with the bodies of terrorists. So we're hearing from one of the lead commanders here. It was anywhere from maybe 70 armed terrorists who made their way here from the Gaza border fence, which is less than a quarter of a mile away. And as I said, the atrocities that they committed, violence with guns, with grenades, with knives, targeting these innocent civilians inside their homes. So for the soldiers here, it's a very, very difficult scene for them as well. As I said, leaving their families behind, but they say they will continue to be here, continue to kill every terrorist who is in the area. You can hear we're very, very close to the Gaza Strip, so we continue to hear artillery firing overhead as well. Even as we were giving this tour, we were told to get on the ground and take cover because you're so close to the Strip right now, you don't even get the red alert. You actually hear the boom before you're even told to get to the ground. So this is the reality, and this is what all of these soldiers, you can see, none of them expecting this, but all of them being here, ready for the fight nonetheless, and proud to fight for their country is what I'm hearing as well. And so that's why they want to show the press, they want to show these very, very difficult images, David, but they want everyone out here because they want to see and show exactly what is happening here on the ground.
And that's what you're supporting. Whoa. The despicable buffoons who are supporting Hamas and the Palestinians in this effort against Israel, who are blaming Israel for every ill in the entire world, and think this is something they had coming to them. That's what you're supporting, right there.
Yeah, it's unconfirmed now that the beheaded baby story. We're not positive on that.
That's everywhere, though. Man,
yeah, it is everywhere. Absolutely,
it is everywhere.
And it's tough when you're looking for confirmation on this stuff. Some of the stuff that you end up seeing.
Yeah.
But no confirmation as of right now, apparently, from that's according to the Israeli army. And I don't even know if that report is accurate. You know, because it's an unnamed spokesperson. You don't know what to believe that's coming out of there from both sides, quite honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they killed babies. We know that.
That's clearly.
They killed 40 babies. Whether they beheaded them or not, they killed babies.
Those were family homes
that
we were looking at in that report.
Yes. They killed women. They killed children. They killed men. It didn't matter to them. If you're Israeli, they're fine with the massacre.
Yeah, it was absolutely heartbreaking to hear one young woman, I think in her 20s, talking about how her family discovered that her grandmother had been killed.
Oh, jeez.
So, according to her, the terrorists murdered the grandmother. It was a horrific scene. They apparently videoed it, and then on the grandmother's phone, uploaded the video to the grandmother's Facebook wall.
Oh, good God.
That's how they found out what happened to their loved one. It's unspeakable.
Wow.
The evil that we're dealing with here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, we don't need to. We know that it's horrific. I was reading a story where a mother and father were on top of their child, trying to keep their child safe, and they were killed. Mm-hmm. And one of the bullets went through one of the parents, either the father or the mother, and wounded the child. But the child lived. But now,
no parents.
Nothing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
Horrible. It's just horrible.
And of course, the Hamas caucus continues their support for the terror against Israel. The Democratic Socialists of America, backed by the members of the Squad, which is now the Hamas caucus, is holding a rally in support of the Palestinian cause. They're holding another one. They already did it Sunday afternoon. They've got another one planned. They're described as the largest socialist organization in the United States with over 90,000 members. How wonderful. With a mission of building working class power to challenge the dominance of the wealthy and the powerful in the 5 boroughs.
Oh, look at there. There's Rashida Tlaib's office.
Oh, wow.
Got the Palestinian flag up there with the rainbow. She does realize
what does the matter with you?
The Palestinians will kill you if they find out that you belong to the Rainbow Coalition there.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just let you know.
Right. Yeah, you can't fly both those flags together, Puddin'. Stupid moron.
You want to see the Fox News reporter chasing her down, trying to get a comment after the reports surfaced yesterday about the babies? Watch this. This is, I don't know where we're at here. This is,
Terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through here.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off
She can't get away fast enough.
Just a comment. All you have to say is, it's horrific what you're hearing. You can say anything.
Congresswoman, do you have a comment on Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads?
Nope, she doesn't.
No.
She's fine with it. That's why she doesn't have a comment. She's fine with it.
Yep.
Do you condone what Hamas has done, chopping
Despicable
off babies'
people.
heads, burning children alive, raping
Can't believe they're in our
street?
government. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off.
Good for her for continuing to trudge on with it.
Members only.
Congressman, why do you have a Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel?
No, well, she does condone it. That's why she has the flag.
Do Israeli lives not matter to you?
No, they don't.
Nice. There you go.
Wow. I think you got all the answers there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't care about babies' heads being chopped off. She doesn't care about Israelis. She doesn't care about any of it.
Now, in 2019, Rashida Tlaib was crying in front of Congress about families being separated at the border.
Oh, wow. Right, that's right.
But you can't even
Families
utter
separated at the
a
border.
syllable
Oh, wow.
about families and babies being murdered
In Israel.
In Israel, yeah. Oh, I swear, these people suck.
Unbelievable.
Beyond words, man.
Joe Biden spoke about the Hamas attack in Israel yesterday. He confirmed 14 Americans. I think it's 20 now.
Well, there's 14 confirmed dead. There's 20 that are either hostages or missing, I think is where we're at. Is it?
Maybe.
Do we have 20 dead now?
I read that somewhere. But, I mean, there's so many different numbers.
you're right.
So many
Yeah.
different places.
Yes.
I-
Even the totals.
Yeah. The totals of dead in Israel, 1,600, 1,200 somewhere else, 900 somewhere else.
And, on the Hamas side, it's just, they keep tallying, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But he said 14 Americans are dead in Israel, and some are among the hostages, maybe 20 or so hostages.
He didn't mention Iran once during that 12 minutes yesterday.
Of course not, because they're funding him. And yesterday, reporter James Rosen asked John Kirby if Biden will support Israel for as long as it takes.
I didn't ask you if the support is unwavering, rock solid. I asked specifically, is President Biden committed to supporting Israel in its campaign against Hamas for as long as it takes? And you understand that I'm using that phrasing because it is the very phrasing that the president has used with President Zelensky in Ukraine. Does Prime Minister Netanyahu receive that same assurance?
I think Prime Minister Netanyahu knows very well, based on the conversations he's had with the president in just the last day or so, how strongly President Biden in the United States and this administration stands with Israel.
Yeah, but
so twice,
as long as
in effect, the spokesman for the National Security Council declined to extend to Prime Minister Netanyahu the same open-ended assurances, as long as it takes, that President Zelensky has received from the United States in the Russia-Ukraine war.
Wow. That says it all.
Doesn't it, though? Doesn't it? But, I mean, how many different conflicts are we going to commit to?
I mean, we have the Ukraine, right?
All of them.
The Ukraine. Right. We have now Israel. It makes no sense to me why China is not walking into Taiwan.
Well, they will be.
I mean,
I'm sure they will soon.
And listen, I know you guys got some stuff going on over there. We're just going to go ahead and take over Taiwan. Don't worry about that.
I think they're lacing up their boots.
Yeah. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah, and I just read a story this morning that we've got Delta Force and SEAL teams, SEAL Team 6, standing by to go into Israel. But that's to get American hostages, maybe. And so they're standing by to help with the hostage location and, if need be, help get the Americans out. I don't know if they'll help get Israelis out, but they're going to help with the hostage situation.
Yeah, I mean, here's a meme going around that has been repurposed for so many causes. But that's a... There we are. There we are.
That's funny.
If you're listening to this, it's the guy walking with his girlfriend, looking back at the girl. He's the American holding hands with Ukraine, looking back, checking out Israel.
And she's pissed.
And of course, honestly, Ukraine is pissed. That has been repurposed.
Yes, it has. But it's a good one.
Many different things.
It's so good. It's absolutely perfect.
And so that would be Zelensky walking arm in arm with Joe Biden. Netanyahu walking by. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of support this government gives.
I mean, they've said the right things so far.
Yes, they have.
They've, promised to be there for them, to have their back. So I don't know. We'll see.
Erdogan in Turkey, though, apparently is not happy because here's a quote from him. He says the U.S. shot down a Turkish drone in Syria.
Oh, no.
When it is suitable for them.
I think we thought it was Iranian, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was from Iran.
So it just goes to the chaos that Jeffy alluded to with Taiwan and China. I mean, this thing is...
Yeah.
It's a
mess.
And I keep hearing we're sending... we've got one carrier troop already that will be there soon. And they're thinking about sending another carrier troop. And then I'm thinking to myself, well... I mean, hopefully the planes can work because someone's been an issue with the...
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
So John Kirby making the rounds yesterday, he was asked if it's time to refreeze the $6 billion to Iran.
There's a lot of talk about the $6 billion and the American hostage exchange. I heard you also say that it can be frozen at any time. Why isn't this the time to freeze that?
I don't have any policy decisions with respect to that to speak to you today, Brett. I think it's important for people to remember that not a single dinar of those funds has gone into Iran. Not one. Not any. Nothing's been allocated out of that fund.
Yeah, John,
and we're going to watch this.
Block money's fungible. You get $6 billion over here for humanitarian and food, so then you can move money someplace else. And then you have the not enforcing sanctions that allows Iran to cash in on its oil around the world.
Brett, with all due respect, I just got to push back on you there. It's not that we're not enforcing sanctions. We have been enforcing them. As a matter of fact, we've added sanctions. We've We've sanctioned 400 entities in Iran just in the beginning of this administration, let alone the sanctions that came before us. And as for the fungibility, again, that money was never going to be tapped by the Iranian regime. They were never going to see it themselves. It was always going to go to vendors that we approved to go to buy humanitarian assistance and medical and food to get directly to the Iranian people. The regime was never going to see that or feel that, and they haven't asked for it. And the other thing I'll say, Brad, just before we get off this topic,
no, John, I want to just push back on one thing. You said that the sanctions are being enforced. The Iranian exports of oil to China, 2020, $6.6 billion, 2021, $23.1 billion, 2022, $30 billion. So how is that enforcing the sanctions on Iran?
Thank you.
We're mindful that Iranian oil is still on the market, and it is a global market.
That's a lot of money, right?
Supply and demand have to be balanced, but I'm telling you that we are enforcing the sanctions, and we're adding sanctions to the regime. But back on that $6 billion, it's not like the Iranians were ever going to be able to get all $6 billion or even $1 billion at a time. The idea would be it would be allocated in very small chunks. So the idea that even if they had started to draw on that fund, that it would be able to
alone.
fund Hamas.
Let's just move that aside. Let's just say that that's fine. The $6 billion is not moving, but there's billions and billions of other dollars. And is there a look now at Iran policy because of what's being funneled to Hamas and Hezbollah?
There has always been a review of Iran policy, and we have always been looking for ways to continue to hold Iran accountable for.
I tell you, I dislike these people.
Every last one of them.
Dislike these people.
Every last one of them.
Kirby is a douchebag, and he works for douchebags, and there's just no way around it. And they're just lying sacks. Everything they say is a lie. And you can't trust anything they tell you. Not a single thing. Andrew Sullivan was also asked about that $6 billion because people are a little concerned about the $6 billion for some reason. I don't know why. We just freed it up, and then all of a sudden Iran helps Hamas attack Israel. Yeah, I'm sure it's just wild coincidence. Has nothing to do with anything, right?
Kirby won't even call it dollars.
No, a dinar. Not a single dinar.
Okay,
shut up.
John.
Here's Andrew Sullivan.
You just laid out all of the ways that Iran is complicit in this and facilitated it over years of support for Hamas. Is that reason enough to refreeze the $6 billion that the U.S. helped unlock for them to get in exchange for the prisoners?
No.
We have not yet had a dollar.
Not a dollar, not a dinar.
Spent. And I will leave it at that.
But will you refreeze it based on this activity that you just laid out? All of the ways that they are complicit in.
Refreeze.
The administration said that if we see them going in the wrong direction, that we would stop that
It's just
down.
the wrong direction?
I understand the position that you guys have, that not a dollar of this has been spent. But will you prevent it from getting into their hands to allow them to, do what they do that you just laid out?
Let me just reiterate what I said.
Let him reiterate.
It's unequivocal.
It's unequivocal.
Not a dollar of that money has been spent.
Not a dollar.
And I will leave it at that.
Why will you leave it at that? Why can't you answer the question?
Right.
Hold on. Like, this deal was struck on September 11th. That was a month ago today.
Dang it, man.
If I'm Iran, man, you need a new bank. Why does it take that long for them to get their money? I mean, I'm glad they don't have it yet, but at least according to this lying administration.
Yeah, and why aren't you refreezing it? Why aren't you making sure they're not going to retrieve it?
If it's still in transit, there shouldn't be no question.
Because they said from the beginning, hey, we could always refreeze that money if they're going in the wrong direction. Seems to me they went in the wrong direction.
Well, Pat. Not one single dinar.
Not one dinar has been spent. So.
You know who's not getting enough credit during this, and how calm the Middle East relatively is Donald Trump with the Abraham Accords.
That's for sure.
And they were so close to normalizing even more relations over there and not having enemies all around them. And I saw this one guy who said, thank you, President Trump. It's because of the Abraham Accords that I was able to get the hell out of Israel while all this is going on because of the deal that you made with the UAE and got them. If not for that, this guy was like, I'm still here. So,
Yeah, the American flights aren't going. Getting them out of there.
Right.
Yeah, because he flew
El
Emirates.
still going.
He was flying Emirates, yeah.
El Al is flying over there because they've got to take a lot of the reservists that are here in the United States that are going back to Israel and none of the American airlines are going there. So they got one choice, and that's El Al to get them back to Israel.
By the way, less than 3% of Israel's population owns firearms because the gun laws are so restrictive.
Right.
You don't think that's necessary over there? I mean, if any country
what do you need a magazine with 100 rounds in it?
You don't.
Nobody needs that. You don't need that.
Yeah.
What are the deer wearing Kevlar over in Israel as well?
Is
that what's going on?
And if you're of the 2.6% of the population that has made it through the severe, strict gun restrictions there, you're only getting a pistol. They're not letting you own anything beyond that. If there's ever a time to arm your population,
it's now.
And if there's ever a country that needs to be armed, it's Israel.
Are you saying
they
Chris
relaxed the rule?
When? Just recently?
Right after this whole
it
attack,
happened?
The minister...
A little late, but okay.
You mean this week they did it after the attack?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, to arm more people.
Holy crap.
I think the quote was, we saw how guns
learn?
could save lives.
Yeah. Hello.
My word.
They had to wait, but they had to wait for the military because nobody's armed. So
it took hours upon hours.
Yep. I mean, once the military got there, they were effective in killing terrorists, which is great. But, if you could have had citizens arm themselves and shoot at these guys, that's somewhat of a deterrent from coming into my house and killing my family. How about if I kill you first? Okay? How do you feel about that then? Maybe you're not going to want to come in.
A deterrent.
Yeah, it does.
And by the way, Israel had a rounds limit, and they relaxed that as well.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because how many do you need?
I think it went from 50 to 100.
You're a pretty bad shot if you can't kill everybody with 6 rounds. Let's say 6. That should kill 100 terrorists right there, right? So stupid.
Sure
so
is.
Asinine. Like you can't see past your nose on your face to understand that there are other contingencies, besides hunting and besides one person coming into your house. What if there's 2 people? What if there's 10 people coming in because we're under attack here from somebody? And
even if there is no one coming into my home, I like having it.
Right, it's none of your freaking
like
business.
Having it. Yeah.
What if I want to shoot 100 rounds into a target? I should be able to, because it's fun. Okay, it's fun. I don't know. It's madness.
What seems like common sense to us.
It is common sense.
For some people, they just can't get there. I don't understand it.
Last month, the G20 announced a plan to impose digital currencies and digital IDs on their respective populations. Central bank digital currencies essentially allow the government to track every purchase you make. They could even allow officials to prohibit you from purchasing certain products or easily freeze or seize part or all of your money. In essence, they enable the government to take more control over your finances. That's why a lot of concerned Americans are diversifying their assets into physical gold with the help of Birch Gold Group. If you want a physical asset held in a tax-sheltered retirement account, you should call Birch today. But learn for yourself. Text PAT to 989898, and they'll send you a free info kit on gold. Go through it. See if it's right for you. The easiest way to become a Birch Gold customer, if you have an IRA or a 401k from a previous employer just gathering dust, Birch Gold can help you convert it into an IRA in gold. And you don't pay a penny out of pocket. So text PAT to 989898 to claim your free info kit on gold. Then call them, because if digital currency becomes a reality, it'll be nice to have some gold to fall back on. Again, text PAT to 989898.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's see. Where do we... Oh, have you seen the video of Joan Rivers that's going around from 2014?
I love
There's
it.
several of them. One, of course, where she calls Big Mike, Michelle Obama, a tranny.
Yeah.
And then there was this one when she was asked about the Palestinian cause.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get celebrity reactions to what's going on with the Palestinians and Israelis right now.
Let me just tell you, if New Jersey were firing rockets into New York, we would wipe them out. I am so bored. If we heard they were digging tunnels from New Jersey to New York, we would get rid of Jersey. So I don't want to hear anymore. Oh, we'll do a partial truce. The Palestinians, you cannot throw rockets and expect people not to defend themselves.
What about the civilian casualty rate?
Then don't put your things in private homes.
Right.
I'm sorry. Don't you dare put weapon stashes in private homes, and then we say get out. Of course, we're going to do it.
The response normally is where are the civilians supposed to go?
I don't care. They started it. You're all insane. They started it. What are you all saying? They started it. The Israelis did not throw their for months this has been going on.
How do you resolve
What are you supposed to do?
How do you resolve it?
How do I know? Because I have been over there. That's how I know. And I wish the world would know. And BBC should be ashamed of themselves. And CNN should be ashamed of themselves. And everybody, stop it already.
You know, like Dwight Howard tweeted, Free Palestine, took it back. Selena Gomez tweeted a pro-Gaza.
Oh, Selena Gomez. Oh, yeah, that college grad.
All right, Joan, thank you. Joan, thank you so much.
Well, if Selena said that. Tell her, let's see if she can spell Palestinian.
That's great. Thanks, Joan. Have a great day.
National treasure, man.
I miss her like my mom right now. Miss her like my mom. That's great stuff.
She shouldn't have started attacking Big Mike, though.
Yeah, that's where she drew it.
I know.
That's so great.
She went in for another cut to Clownface. And,
Selena Gomez is opening her stupid mouth about it again.
Really? Of course.
Again, in support of the Palestinians. I sure wish people were educated on this issue. And they think we're the ones who aren't. They think we don't know what's going on over there. The Israelis have been defending themselves since 1947. As soon as the partition went up from the UN, as soon as they declared independence, were given their home state, they've had to defend it from the beginning against onslaught after onslaught.
You talk about the UN.
They did not start this.
Talk about the United Nations. Did you see their moment of silence?
Oh, geez. For what? For Palestinians? Was it really?
Is the world that predictable?
Yes.
Look at this. I mean,
gosh.
On behalf of the OIC member states, we express our deep concerns over the loss of innocent lives in the occupied Palestinian territory and elsewhere.
I can't even do it.
Regrettably, this huge loss of lives and unabated violence is a sad reminder of more than 7 decades of illegal foreign occupation.
I can't listen to this moron.
And disrespect.
What's so gross, and pull it down for a second, but let it play, Joe. What's so... He stands up for the moment of silence, and every last person in there, like sheep, dying to wear their masks in front of everyone. Everybody stands up. Nobody objects. Get out of my face. It's absolutely grotesque.
Do we have anybody in there with giblets? Where's the American ambassador? Where is that person? I don't even know who the
American ambassador,
the UN ambassador from the U.S. is. Who is it now?
Oh gosh,
because it was Nikki Haley at one point. She was, and then what's his face?
Linda Thomas Greenfield.
Yeah, sure.
Lyndall Thomas Greenfield?
Linda.
You say that like you don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Linda Thomas Greenfield, of course.
Obviously,
she's exactly the right person.
Making a big splash there at the United Nations is
Never
Linda.
heard of her.
Thomas.
Wow. Okay.
Boy, that was a good call, by the way, by you to mute this guy, to not listen to this nonsense.
I can't. I just can't.
I didn't realize how long this was.
My gosh, what a moron. What a moron.
Look at that. And
what a buffoon.
Look at all these sheep. Yeah?
We love the Palestinians, too.
And it's the Pakistani?
Yes. Look at this. Every one of them.
Is the U.S. ambassador there?
I don't know, Jeff. That's a good question.
So concerned about the Palestinians, why don't you take them in and give them a homeland? Just find an area that you're not using all that much and let them set up shop there and live there. What of you Islamic countries that love them so much? Why won't give them a safe place to live? They never will. They never have. And there's a reason for that. More coming up in just a minute.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Spooky. All right, welcome. Thanks for being here. Halloween season. Gosh, it's the 11th already. Oh, it's my anniversary. How about that?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
It just hit me, which is why we're leaving today. We're going to Utah for a few days. And
when you think of a party,
you think Utah. No. That's where you go to party.
You think Salt Lake City.
All the milk you can drink. It's crazy this time of year.
Sometimes they even break out the Nutella.
Well, I mean,
let's not get crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, the kind of nutty Mormons will do that.
Is root beer involved?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But let's see. We got some tweets here, and then we're going to get to chewing the fat. B to Bodine tweets, "Hey, guys, I overslept and missed the first 18 minutes of the show. Could you start it all over again so I can catch what I missed? Thanks." Yeah, that's called a podcast.
Hello.
But yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, it'll happen for you. So
subscribe, and you'll get the alert when the show drops. No problem.
Sure. Yeah, so you can subscribe, rate, leave a podcast review on iTunes. Pat Gray Unleashed on podcast, on Spotify, on iTunes, of course, at The Blaze, blazetv.com/Pat. Promo code Pat for 10% off. You can do that. We've got some really cool changes coming to the website, too, theblaze.com. I don't know if I can talk about it. I just did, I guess.
Well,
but
not specific.
Some cool things that are going to happen very soon. Also, subscribe to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Pat Gray, and make sure to hit the bell so you get notified when new content posts, whatever. All right? Okay, we got Bad Engineer who tweets, "Why would you expect someone from this administration to answer a question? They haven't answered one yet. Why would today be different?" That's really true.
Yeah.
Fury and Energy, the Biden administration is trying so hard to simultaneously claim to support Israel while their actions support the allies of Hamas. That is interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting little twist there. Jeffy is my spirit animal. Tweets, "If it takes this long to get money, how long will it take to get my Powerball payout when I hit it?" Oh, is that still not?
No, that's correct.
Oh, my gosh. What is that up to now?
35 drawings without a winner now.
Wow.
We're up to $1.73 billion.
Is that the biggest of all time?
Second.
What's the biggest?
We had the $2 billion in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
1.73 billion.
$756.6 million cash payout.
How sweet would that be?
Yeah, so this is number 2 on the highest, on the biggest lotto drawings.
Every problem you have solved. Well, I mean, as long as it's financial.
Right.
It's not going to cure your cancer, but it might help.
It might help.
You could try something creative.
That's correct.
In Mexico or fly to Sweden or whatever.
So after taxes, I think you're around 470 million left over. Okay.
Man, that would be
you
great.
get more than that, right?
I don't know, 37-ish%.
Wouldn't it be nice to do this just for fun because you love it, not because you have to do it? It'd be great, wouldn't it? Be great.
And no, I will say this: no one won Mega Millions last night, so that's up to a whole $48.
Oh,
so
wow!
Now you're talking.
Now you're speaking my language. 48 million.
Yeah,
they must have had a winner sometime soon because it was
not long
than
ago.
That, right?
Yeah, not long ago, somebody won a 500 million.
Nobody even plays it at 48 million. Give me a break.
I looked so. I was the one the original before the drawing last night. It just said 20 million. It looks so sad.
That is sad.
It looks so sad.
That
it was just
sad.
all alone. I opened up the webpage and the webpage was like 20 million.
That's like those game shows that give out $10,000. It's like, why even bother?
What are we doing?
I'm not even interested.
I used to be somebody over here.
Right. I opened up, if the webpage is wow, 20 million.
All right, let's play the theme real quick for Jeffy. It's time to chew the fat. And here it is. And there it was. Okay, thank you.
Good. There can be only one. Fat Bear Week has concluded. The
Fat
finals
Bear Week is over?
it's done. It's over.
No.
We
I know.
hardly knew ye.
The finals vote was between 32 Chunk and 1-28 Glazier. The returning champion, Bear 747, was defeated by 128 Glazier. That's her on the right. And those were your two finalists. And the champion, yes, the queen, 128 Glazier, wins Fat Bear Week 2023.
A girl won it?
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with these male grizzlies.
Got to be diverse.
Yeah, right.
Diverse.
You got to eat a lot of different things, not just salmon, right?
Right.
Berries.
Don't just fill up on salmon. We're trying to fatten you up here.
I mean, 32 Chunk did some serious damage this offseason before hibernation, man. But so did 128 Glazier. You watch them eating on the rivers there up in Katmai in the park, man. It's incredible.
Speaking of which, I hate to bring it down, the bear talk, but did you see what park was it where a grizzly
it was in Canada.
Just killed a couple?
It was in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah, the Canadian couple.
And their
dog. Their
so sad.
I know. We're so sad about the dog.
I know. It's so sad about the couple.
So the couple were
in
out hiking.
Banff, I think. Banff.
Yeah. They were out hiking and they camped and they realized they had
And they put up their food like you're supposed to do. They hung it from the trees. They did everything right.
Yeah.
They had bear spray. That didn't work. Nothing worked against this thing.
They texted their guy that they stayed in communication with saying, hey, we didn't make it as far as we thought we would. We're going to camp someplace else tonight.
Oh,
right.
And then they did everything they're supposed to. And then he got a text SOS.
Yeah.
And then he got a Garmin. Then he got a Garmin post that said, "Hey, bear attack bad." And he got a hold of the authorities.
That was real bad.
It took them about 4 hours to get out there where they were at.
Yeah.
Maybe more. And by the time they were there, the dog, both the couple is gone, and they hunted down the bear, who they think was the attack bear.
Euthanized it. Killed it.
Yeah, good. Hello, humans first. What are we talking about?
Yes,
have a nice
please.
day.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have a nice day.
I was impressed to see that.
If we're wrong, we'll go back in after the other one.
We'll kill the next one.
Yeah.
And reports were saying that the couples were reading and they were caught by surprise.
Yeah, they were in their tent.
I think they were in the tent, and the bear, the grizzly just crushed
them.
They used the whole can of bear spray. It didn't work. He laughed at that.
Yeah, really sad.
Really sad. Really sad.
Not as fun as the bear fat thing.
You don't want to mess with 128 Glacier, though. She'll tear you up.
No, I don't want to mess with her.
No, you do not.
I don't.
No, you do not. So for the last 2 days, all I've been singing is Hank Williams Jr. It's a family tradition. We have a naked selfie of
So
Frank
glad I don't know that song. Otherwise, it would
It's a family tradition?
Thanks to you, it would be in my head all day.
Oh.
But I don't know that song.
That's embarrassing. Before we even get to the story.
I don't like country music. You know that.
But Hank Williams Jr., the family tradition, is an iconic
Hank
song.
Williams is probably the worst of country
Hank
music.
Williams Jr., by the way, and it's family tradition. It's an iconic song.
The only one I know from him is the Monday Night Football thing. Yep.
So we have a naked selfie anyway.
He's sad now. You made him sad.
I'm more than sad. I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed in you.
Well, you know that. You've known that forever. I am not. Come on. You would think I'm a Hank Williams Jr. fan?
No, but I didn't say fan, but you would know the song. It's iconic.
No.
I'm with you, Jeffy.
You know it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Chris, you know it? No. See?
Chris barely know. Stop it.
I hate country. Country sucks.
Country sucks.
Sucks, yeah.
I mean, I agree with that take, too. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
My point.
I heard the word nude somewhere.
We do. We have a naked selfie of Frank Biden.
Oh, okay.
He is the brother.
Oh, God.
He is the brother of Joe Biden and the uncle to Hunter.
No.
Yes.
I've never heard of Frank. I knew James, but there's a Frank.
Frank is
too?
the younger brother. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Now Frank is 69 now.
Oh.
He was 64 when he took the picture. So the photo's been around for a while.
Oh my goodness!
You gotta be kidding
You know what?
me.
You know what? When I see this, a song comes to mind. It's the Hank Williams Jr.
It's a family.
We say it's a family tradition.
Yes.
See?
That's a really
you like that
good
analogy, right?
I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Okay. I was just thinking the same thing,
that?
Keith.
Yeah, I thought so.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
The photo was uploaded to a gay porn site.
Oh no!
GuyswithiPhones.com.
Oh no!
No.
Now,
by Frank or
when asked about it, he said, "Yeah, that's my photo, but I didn't post it. I didn't upload it to the website. Someone must have hacked my phone because it's my
like
picture."
The Anthony Weiner thing. I wish that was me.
Anything that is a revealing picture of some kind is between Mindy and me. That's his girlfriend that he's been with for a few years. So who knows? We'll see. Generally the photos are submitted to the website by users, but not all the photos are submitted by the actual people to the website. So we'll see. Maybe the long-term female partner Mindy posted it.
Interesting.
Don't know.
Yeah,
but,
interesting.
Interesting that after more than 5 years, it's still up on the site. It's funny how that happened. And just a refresh.
5 years it's been up?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just a friendly reminder from Chewing the Fat, and I'm sure Pat Gray Unleashed. If you have naked selfies on your phone and don't want them out into the world, if you get hacked, go ahead and delete those today.
Probably delete them.
Here's an easy fix on that. Don't take naked selfies.
Well, now you're just talking crazy.
Yeah, I know that. That's true.
Now you're
Why
just
would you
talking
change your
crazy.
behavior
I
for
apologize.
someone else's actions?
Right, you shouldn't. Never mind. Forget I even said it.
The old apples don't fall far from the trees, do they? I'm waiting for you to find what you're looking for. So
I got to take a minute and tell you about Moink, okay? Because
I'm a huge fan of Moink.
Yeah, I love Moink. I love Moink.
Huge fan.
60% of U.S. pork production comes from one company, owned by the Chinese, and their hogs are given something called ractopamine. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? Give me a little. Hey, can you put some ractopamine on top of that, please?
Ractopamine on
yeah.
that, would you?
In fact, marinate it in the ractopamine overnight, if you would, because yum, I love that stuff. It's actually banned in 160 countries, including China, but you find it in your grocery aisle every day here in America. There is a better way. Let me tell you about Moink. That's Moo plus Oink. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, no ractopamine, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door.
That is so good. And you don't have to fight the fat bears
right.
for either.
They do it for you. Moink does this for you. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did. And as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should because the family farm just does it better. Keep American farming going by signing up at Moinkbox, M-O-I-N-K box.com, moinkbox.com/unleashed. Sign up right now, and listeners to this show get free ground beef for a year.
Nice.
That's 1 year of the best ground beef you'll ever taste. But for a limited time, it's spelled M-O-I-N-K, moinkbox.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray is Unleashed. All right, please subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. Ring, the company known for its doorbell camera, offering a hefty cash prize now for anyone who can capture proof of alien life. The company has launched...
I can't believe if it does exist, how is it possible that hasn't already happened?
I know.
How is it possible?
I know.
Come on. And how is it possible we only have these grainy, distant blobs in the sky instead of a clear-cut shot? Here's your UFO right here.
Right here.
Come on.
Right here.
There's something wrong with that.
According to this, sensors have been picking up signs of unidentified life forms in the neighborhood, so they want us to investigate.
All right.
Their extraterrestrial activity. Now, you get $1 million, which is paid out $50,000 a year for a couple of decades.
That'd be sweet.
But it would be. It would be if you can, proof of extraterrestrial life. Now, that's not all, though. The company is also offering a $500 Amazon gift card for the most creative fake. That's kind of what I think they're looking for overall, really, right? So,
and who is it offering this?
Ring.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ring door. The videos must be submitted and recorded between now and November 3rd. And you have to be a U.S. resident, and you have to be a Ring owner, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I will say there must have been some kind of issue with their website, though, because I was looking at their website last night, and it said video submissions will reopen on October 12th. So they must have been overloaded or something happened because it was supposed to already be happening. I'm saying. So not sure why it was paused. Anyway, good luck. Maybe, just maybe we'll get proof of life.
Be nice.
It would be nice. Congratulations.
Again, there's that quote from Contact.
Yeah.
You know, if we are alone, that is a terrible waste of space because it's big.
Yeah.
It's a big area.
I know.
Anyway.
And it's only just a couple hundred years old.
I've said too much, Jeffy. Go ahead.
Congratulations to a 28-year-old flight attendant who became the first transgender contestant to take home the title of Miss Portugal.
Yay!
Adding to the number headed to Miss Universe competition in El Salvador next month.
Two now. Yay! There's going to be 2 trans people in the Miss Universe pageant. Yay!
Miss Portugal said for many years I wasn't eligible to compete, and now it is such an honor.
Oh, that's heartbreaking that she wasn't eligible as a man.
I know.
Dang it. Why
Horrible.
can't men be beautiful women? Why? Well, they can, and he proved it. Am I right?
You are absolutely
yes, of course
right.
I'm right.
Thank you. Now you have you have her.
Yeah.
And that
him.
And then she.
Yeah.
He or she from
Shim.
From the Netherlands is also a biological male.
Yeah.
And so they're
Netherlands and Portugal.
Be a great competition down.
Are you telling me that men make more beautiful women
Look
than
at that
women?
right there.
Because they don't.
Look at that
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry. She's incredibly lovely, but there's better looking women, actual women.
Oh, my gosh.
I hate this.
This is so gross.
You know, because of the political correctness, you're just shunning women in all their competitions.
I know. So, Miss Universe,
Despicable.
you can vote online now. Their app is up and running. They have a fan vote that I think you get one vote free. And then I loved the announcement that they're going to be having the event in El Salvador. Miss Universe contest is in El Salvador, the shining jewel in Latin America. Okay, all right, okay, good. And it's such a shining jewel that it's going to be held at the National Gym in San Salvador. So
the National Gym. Well, that's the shining jewel of gyms in the shining jewel of Latin America.
It's coming back because it was in Louisiana last year.
Are they going to have
and they said it's coming back to the Americas, and I was like,
are they going to fold the basketball hoops up?
Yes. The hoops will be up for the contest.
The home of MS-13, by the way, which is terrific. So enjoy your time and your stay in El Salvador. More Pat Gray Unleashed next.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Before we get started here, let me just take a minute and give you some advice. If you have visitors, wanted or unwanted in a lot of cases, like if, let's say,
you're looking at me,
Jeffy. Let's say Jeffy shows up at your house, and you don't want to offend him. That his odor is so bad, that he reeks so much that you can't stand it. You're choking, and you're trying not to show him that tears are running out of your eyes because of the stench.
Wow. That's an endorsement right here, what we're about to do.
Yeah. You need this unit, and then you don't have to tell them about it because it gobbles up that stench and does away with it.
Oh, I need to take that to the kitchen here, the Blaze Kitchen, where somebody left a big bag of onions out.
Put the Eden Pure Thunderstorm in there. It's gone. Just like that. The cooking smells, the onion smells, the Jeffy smells.
Yeah.
Cigarette smoke, litter boxes, whatever problem you have in your house with the odors. You know, maybe you just cooked fish or something last night. You can't get. I hate that. I mean, it's okay while you're eating it, but then 6 hours later and you walk into the kitchen and it's still, I hate that. So this will take care of it. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm. And this week, you can get 3 of them on sale for under $200. Okay? Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Enter the promo code PAT. That's Eden, E-D-E-N, EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code PAT, and you'll get free shipping.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here. Paco D tweets, make Joan Rivers great again. Yeah, we are. We're
kidding.
Yes, absolutely. Lutheran housewife, why are we so surprised that the National Socialists like Rashida in the U.S. are anti-Semites? It's kind of their thing.
It is.
Mm-hmm. I'm really not surprised. It just angers me, though. It still pisses me off. What surprises me is that they can continue to be elected to the office that they're in. That's unreal.
Yeah. And also the thing that's kind of annoying is that if she believes it so much, why is she running away like poison to the questions?
Yeah, right.
Down the hallway.
Right,
What
defend
are we
yourself.
Doing? Yeah.
Tell us why you're such a proud supporter of Hamas. Go ahead. Democrats always cheat. Tweets, when I start putting the pieces together from all the decisions made to weaken Americans over the last 25 odd years, the more I wonder if someone hasn't been setting us up to be invaded. Huh. That's a thought.
That is a thought. That is a thought.
Adrian Slade, why does our UN ambassador's name sound like an executive producer of sitcoms in the 80s? Two-tier giblets, mo money equals mo problems, but I'm willing to risk it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to
take
as well.
that chance.
Yeah.
I'm talking about winning the lottery? Yeah, because they all wind up in jail or dead.
Well, that's
or
not
broke.
true, but okay.
They've actually done specials on that.
They've done specials on everything.
Yes.
There have been some people that
lost all their money very quickly.
Less than smart with their money.
Yeah, right. That's why the first thing you should do is hire a financial advisor when you win the lottery.
After you go to the strip club and make it rain for a while.
Down there in Glitter Kingdom.
And from M, happy National Curves Day. I don't know why these days keep coinciding with Jeffy's days. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't
What does
know.
that even?
That's interesting.
It means like days that you're here are days that that we get to celebrate stuff that makes us think about you.
Weird.
Like National Curves Day.
I'm not sure what the implication is.
Turn in the road, celebrate me. I don't understand.
From Christine, Frank Biden didn't even flush the toilet before he took his nasty selfie.
If you look at that picture, the toilet seat is up. You can't really tell.
Oh, no,
it's
that's
tough.
gross.
I did study the photo at some
bet you
great
did.
length. And you can't. The toilet seat is still up. You can't really tell whether it's flushed or not.
Jeffy was ready for this tweet,
but
I've already checked it out.
I studied this in great length because
you zoomed in. Zoomed in.
Absolutely, and you can't make out whether it's flushed or if it just hasn't been necessarily cleaned 100% for quite some time.
God.
I'll tell you something. No, the Biden family should be proud. They got to be proud,
right?
The grossest collection of human beings on the planet.
Gosh, you got Joey, who showered with his daughter
allegedly
until it was weird and inappropriate and sick and twisted. You've got Jill, who continues to push this dead weight along, trying to get him to continue his power so that she can be a recipient of it.
Joe, dead weight Biden.
Jeez. You got James, who's on the take. You got Hunter, who also on the take and on drugs, and a philanderer. Not that's a problem, because whatever, to each his own.
Thank
right?
you. There's no judgment.
Smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Exactly. All right. Let's see. Rashida Tlaib. We have her nationally saying, expressing her support for Palestine, and then when she's asked about it in the halls of Congress, she won't talk about it.
Interesting.
She clams up. And then there's some local morons. They're Colorado State Rep Tim Hernandez, who was asked about condemning the violence against innocent Israelis. Here's what he had to say.
And I think it's despicable what they're protesting for and what you are protesting for. And the fact that you can't condemn women and children and elderly people being murdered in the streets.
What about it?
What about it?
Do you condemn it?
I already said.
Why can't you say yes?
Because I already gave you my answer.
You didn't give an answer. And I think anybody who would watch this would understand what your actual position is here.
Three people that are going to watch your video, Russell.
Wow. And so, yeah, you catch that. He's like, oh, 3 people are going to watch your video? No, this is going everywhere, bro. But again, what ramifications are there at election time for people like this? I hope his people that he represents get to see that. And
I hope so, too.
Make the right decision.
We got this from David Horowitz from a while ago, and he was dealing with a Hamas supporter. This is back in 2010. Here's what happened then.
Good evening. I just wanted to say thank you for coming to campus tonight and presenting your point of view. It's always valuable to have 2 sets of views going on at the same time. Very useful. My name is Jumana Imad Musa Ahmed Al-Bahri.
Get that?
And I'm a student here at UCSD.
Bill.
I was reading your literature. I found that much more interesting than the talk. And I found some interesting things about the MSA, which is an organization that's very active on campus, and it is hosting our annual Hitler Youth Week. You should come out to those events. If you could clarify the connection between the MSA and jihad terrorist networks, because last I checked, we had to do our own fundraising, and we never get help from anyone. So if you could clarify the connection between UCSD's MSA, or if you don't have such information, if you could connect other MSAs on UC's, because the connection wasn't too clear in the pamphlet. Just if you could clarify.
Will you condemn Hamas here and now?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you condemn Hamas?
Would I condemn Hamas?
As a terrorist genocidal organization?
Are you asking me to put myself on a cross?
So you won't. I actually have had this experience many times. You didn't read the pamphlet because the pamphlet is chapter and verse. The main connection is that the MSA is part of the Muslim Brotherhood Network as revealed in the documents.
I don't think you understood what I meant by that. I meant if I say something, I'm sure that I will be arrested.
What?
For reasons of Homeland Security. So if you could please just answer my question.
If you condemn Hamas, Homeland Security will arrest you.
If I support Hamas, because your question forces me to condemn Hamas. If I support Hamas, I look really bad.
If you don't condemn Hamas, obviously you support it.
Right.
Case closed.
Right.
I have had this experience. I had this experience at UC Santa Barbara where there were 50 members of the Muslim Students Association sitting right in the rows there. And throughout my hour talk, I kept asking them, will you condemn Hezbollah and Hamas? And none of them would. And then when the question period came, the president of the Muslim Students Association was the first person to ask questions. And I said, before you start, will you condemn Hezbollah? And he said, well, that question is too complicated for a yes-no answer. So I said, okay, I'll put it to you this way. I'm a Jew. The head of Hezbollah has said that he hopes that we will gather in Israel so he doesn't have to hunt us down globally. For it or against it?
For it.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and showing everybody what's here. And you're wearing a terrorist neckerchief.
If you understood.
You didn't hear the lady.
Could you please answer my question?
You don't get to make a speech. Yes, sir.
Well, there you go.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go. That's 2010.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
and
that is who they
are.
are.
Now they're just roaming the streets out in the open. They don't care who sees them. They're having no problem right here in America expressing their hatred for all Jews.
That's amazing. She just flat out, yes. Oh.
He backed her into a corner. He backed her into a corner. She could not face herself in the mirror.
No, without
saying
telling the truth. Yeah, she's for the extermination of Jews.
Yep.
All Jews. Huh. Okay, well, that was sweet.
I don't see how people think you negotiate with people like that.
Yeah, you can't. There's just no way. Then we've got this Muslim explaining the history of Israel.
Yeah, this is in reference to a response to, what is her name? Mia Khalifa, who's been very vocal since Saturday.
And who is she? Who is Mia Khalifa?
She is a porn star. I think she works for Playboy now.
No, she used to.
Lovely.
Because I saw where she lost her gig for how outspoken she's been for pro-Palestinians here.
Okay. Is she like Palestinian. Is that her deal?
I guess so.
Mia Khalifa sounds like it,
Yes, it does.
somewhere. All right. Anyway, here's all that.
Refuting Mia Khalifa's misinformation on history.
Israel has only been a state since 1948. Palestine is thousands of years old.
Pause it for a second.
You are wrong.
Okay, I think he's going to handle
He's going to
this.
handle
He's
it.
going to handle this for
But
you.
I can't take that.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. All right, let him do it. Yes. Go ahead.
Refuting Mia Khalifa's misinformation on history.
Israel has only been a state since 1948. Palestine is thousands of years old.
Sorry, Mia, you are wrong. Israel is 3,000 years old, 75 years young. And this is not coming from a Jew, but from a proud Muslim. The prophets of God whom I believe in were Israelites. A significant number of these prophets disseminated their teachings in the land of Canaan, a land which Joshua bin Nun later renamed Israel. And then King David proclaimed Jerusalem as the nation's capital. Yes, Mia, it wasn't Donald J. Trump. It was King David. Even Jesus of Nazareth, Mia, called the land Israel in the Gospel of Matthew. The Roman Emperor Hadrian expelled Jews from Israel, erasing the name Judea. He supplanted it with the Roman Latin term Syria Palestina, which evolved into Palestine. Similarly, the city of Shechem was changed to Neapolis or Nablus, which means in Roman Latin, new city or new place. The Jewish people, dear Mia, are not foreign colonialists in the land of Israel. I wish you to inform your audience that Israelis and Palestinians ought to coexist peacefully, and that peace is the only way, not marring history or disseminating falsehoods. Please share this video as it may reach Mia and others so that they know the truth. And the truth shall set you free.
Yeah, good stuff.
There's
That's great.
a lot there, man.
Yeah, a lot.
That's a fun little history.
The fact is, there's never been a Palestine state, Palestinian state. Right. There's not ever. It's never existed. Israel has, as he said, for 3,000 years or more. So I don't know how you make that connection that Palestine's always been there, but not Israel. Have you read something called the Buble? The Bible? The what? Christian, what? You know what I'm talking about? The
Bible?
Yeah, the Bible. That's what it is.
He's the one we go to for pronunciation. Okay, that helps.
Keith, did you know? Did you know before he told us? I couldn't think of it. It was on the tip of my tongue, but I
didn't want to back myself into a corner, so I wasn't sure.
Well, I sensed some of that. That's why I went to Chris. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Israel has only been here since 1948. Palestine been here forever.
Mia, is that you?
Go make a movie.
And by the way, Palestine was set up at the same time Israel was. That's what kills me every time. They'll never acknowledge that. Have you ever heard a supporter of Palestine say, yeah, you know what? We had our chance. We missed out. We should have just kept the state that we were given by the UN.
Right.
Instead of trying to wipe Israel off the face of the map and enlist our Arab cousins to help us do that, maybe we should have just taken the state when we had the chance. What a concept.
That is an interesting concept.
Been some bad advice.
Yeah, some bad advice. Because they've been struggling ever since. And it's the Israelis' fault for some reason. It's not Jordan's fault. Jordan could have given them a homeland. In fact, Jordan was terrorized for a good long time, and they were somewhat brutal in their response to Palestinian terrorism when they were trying to influence Jordan to give them a state. They realized that they weren't getting anywhere with that, and so they started attacking Israel, who treated them somewhat better. But they got annihilated. Their family got annihilated. You didn't want to mess with the Islamic countries when it came to retaliation. They didn't put up with it. But Israel is supposed to. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. All right, let me take a minute. Tell you about real estate agents I trust. You need a really successful person. And why do you need a successful person in the real estate market? Because that shows you that they know what they're doing, that they're committed to their work, and that they're good at it. And so you want somebody with a really good track record. You want somebody with a good marketing plan, somebody who's not just going to continually parade people through your home. and tromp on your carpeting and make you clean your house and make it immaculate every minute of every day. And then you got to leave.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
They may leave a gift in the toilet like that selfie guy. You don't want that.
That's why you don't want to invite Jeffy over for one of those open houses, because that would happen.
I flush sometimes.
Absolutely, I flush.
I remember? What am I supposed to remember every time? Anyway, Real Estate Agents I Trust are fans of the show. You're going to have a lot in common with them. Go to Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. RealEstateAgentsITrust.com.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
You know what? There's a lot to be nervous about right now. So open up social media, turn on the news, and all you see is crime, societal decay. A lot of people just run out and buy a gun. Then the gun sits in a safe. If there's ever an emergency, they're not yet prepared, and they run the risk of hurting themselves or others. So there is a better way. You need to train, and you need to train often. Unfortunately, it's time-consuming to go to the range. It's also expensive.
Yeah.
And ammo right now, it's really expensive. iTarget Pro was invented so you could practice anytime in the safety, convenience of your own home. Simply download the iTarget Pro app, load your caliber-specific laser bullet into your firearm, and start training. It's completely safe. You can get the kids involved, help them understand firearms. It's great. Practice alone, compete with friends, use it to safely train friends and family who are new to firearms. Go to itargetpro.com. Get 10% off right now at checkout when you use the offer code PAT. It's the safest, smartest way to train. And a lot of competitive shooters trust dry fire training as part of their regimen. So get yours today. That's the letter I, then targetpro.com. itargetpro.com. Offer code PAT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Anthony Avero is a reporter who's been down to the border and shot a little video that we're privy to. Here's that. I'm sure you're going to see a pristine scene of... Okay. Oh, wait. That's pristine enough, I guess.
Where's everybody coming from?
A lot of families.
Synagogue? Where are you going? Hold on, get in the line right here, right here. Hey, where are you going? Synagogue. We're from Synagogue, but where are you going? Right here. They pick you up right here. You can have a seat.
Michigan.
Michigan. Huh?
Michigan.
Michigan, you?
Senegal. No, Fan Belgium.
St. Louis. St. Louis, you?
St. Louis.
New York, you?
Good. Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, you? Thank you.
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Thank you.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Start of a football game.
New York.
New York. Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Thank you. You? Atlanta? You?
New York.
New York. Thank you. You?
New York.
New York.
New York. All right.
Yeah, New York.
New York, Atlanta, New York.
New York.
Good.
You stay?
Good.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
California.
Yeah.
California, and you?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Okay.
Welcome,
Welcome, everybody.
All right.
Welcome.
Look at that there.
Where's your kids?
Yeah.
Your wife and your children. Where are they?
They may already be here.
Yeah, they're catching up.
They're probably in Cincinnati right now
ahead.
waiting for you.
Yeah,
okay. Or Columbus.
One thing on that video, and we don't have to go back and show it, but somebody had spray painted an arrow on the fence behind them, just basically saying, "This way, y'all.
Jeez.
Keep on walking." Boy, so there you go. They are...
yeah, that's great.
They're here.
Yeah, and they're all from Senegal. So that was nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's not your typical Mexico or Central or South America.
When you travel to Senegal,
yeah.
you hear it all the time from people there. Man, do I want to go to Cincinnati?
Yeah, a lot of
Man, do I want to go to Cincinnati?
Yeah.
You can't get enough of it.
So do you have the special interest alien apprehensions? These are for
I do.
that aren't from Central and South America?
Mm-hmm.
Put that graphic up, Joe.
So we've got, for instance, how many people from Afghanistan? 6,386. This is from the time period October of 2021 to October 4th of this year.
Okay, so last 2 years.
So 2 years. 6,386 from Afghanistan, 3,153 from Egypt. You can see the numbers there. 659 Iranians, 123 Iraqis. Good, because they love us. You know that? They love us.
These are apprehensions, so we're fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Because they're apprehended and then they're released. But you scared the crap out of them when you apprehended them.
And they'll come back for their court date.
Yeah, and
Look
it
at
might
Turkey.
be in 2028 or 2035, but whatever.
That Turkey,
there's only 30,830 people from Turkey coming in.
That's a European Union connection there, getting them over here.
15,594 from Mauritania.
What in the world is that all about?
13,624 from Uzbekistan.
Oh, that's a good...
And Yemenis love us.
Yeah.
The Yemenis, man, other than their own country, we are at the top of their love list, which I like. I like that a lot.
Yemen's the same
got some more. Okay, so look at that. That's apprehensions month by month. You can see how low it was during Trump, and then January 2021 shows up, and then boom! Thank you, Joe Biden.
My gosh.
So many are coming here.
Do not come.
Do not come. What's the other?
Well, she said that.
What's the other? Oh, look at
Kamala said that.
Look at that. Look at that.
What do you want from her?
Terror watch list arrests. Huh? See,
more than 1.5 million?
But like Jeffy said, they're arresting them.
Yeah,
so
yeah, right.
Thank you.
What do you want?
We're on it.
More than 1.5 million gotaways. By the way, Chinese.
There's a lot more than that.
Huh?
I mean, when you say more than.
We have a China
I was just gonna say,
account too?
I don't have the number here, but
several.
Increasing.
Well, I watched it. I did see a video of a person interviewing at one border crossing. I don't know if it was Eagle Pass or not, but there was an overwhelming number of Chinese, and all families
here for a good life.
They didn't have their families with them. They were just males. Fighting age males, but they're all families.
Why are you pointing
Well, the families were just behind him. The men just walk faster.
Yeah.
That's all.
Daniel Horowitz.
The families were still on the Yucatan Peninsula. They're coming.
Daniel Horowitz tweeted out this important fact. The Israel border with Gaza is 32 miles long. Our southern border is 2,000 miles long. 2,000. I just... Seems like there's some opportunities there that I don't want to think about.
Huh. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I'm friend and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life. Friend and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life.
But what's your relationship? You guys enemies? Do you just an acquaintance, or what is she?
Friend and she's a friend. She's been my friend.
She's been your friend. Okay. I'm getting the impression that he had a friend there that he was
in and out of public life.
Right. Which is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. This is part of the reason this guy's approval rating is at 40% in this new poll.
How's that even possible?
It's a Reuters Ipsos poll, and I can't, like you just brought up, I can't believe it's that high. How does this guy have an approval rating above 10%?
Right.
Because there's always going to be 10% of idiots who just, I like what he's doing. He's doing really good. I believe we didn't go to the moon because that's really hard. It's a hard thing, and I don't think we did. Do you see the shadows? You see the shadows? So there's always going to be 10, 11% of Americans like that.
Interesting connection.
But where's the other 30% coming from?
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow, that's amazing. That is absolutely astounding.
Sure is.
All right, we got much more to get into in this last half hour. But first, let me tell you about Fume. Because going cold turkey is great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. And I'm not talking about some kind of weird mind voodoo from your crazy neighbor. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume, and they look at the problem in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-nominated device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, it uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. You're going to love the taste, the feel, the look. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard. But switching to Fume is easy. It's enjoyable. It's even fun. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com. Use the promo code Unleashed. Get 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum. Tryfume.com. Promo code Unleashed to save an additional 10% off your order.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
On Monday, we had an overtime story about an electric vehicle that lost control in Scotland. And a guy was basically kidnapped for 10 to 15 minutes by his vehicle. So,
no, thank you.
You know who loves the self-driving cars? Is Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum. He loves them. And I wonder if he does because it gives you more control. You know?
Absolutely.
Right?
He loves it when you're empowered.
Loves it. Yeah.
You'll own nothing and like it.
Exactly. Here he is talking about it.
We meet for the 20th. I hope I will have the pleasure still to be invited for the meeting when we meet for the 20th Governance Summit.
That
you will use the app like Uber. But not anymore to call some driver, but automatically guided car, a self-driving car will come to your hotel or wherever you are and will bring you to the airport. No, Los Angeles is one of the cities with the heaviest traffic. Who told me in 2030 Los Angeles will be private car driven free. And this will allow to transform highways into parks and other public spheres.
I don't know, man. But when he's on board with something, that's when I get off the train.
More and more cities are allocating the rights for the autonomous vehicles, man. And the cab companies. I mean, Dallas, Fort Worth is... San Francisco, Los Angeles,
I can't
Austin.
wait till Highway 114 out here is a park.
We have a ways of making you comply. Doomkopf! Yeah, I mean, he's not scary enough, is he? And then you got as head of the World Economic Forum, then you get the creepy Nazi accent there, which is great. It's okay. It's just a German accent. It's not Nazi. Not old Germans are not. Though. Who was? Dad? Oh, Mr. Klaus. Yeah, Mr. Schwab. Yeah, that's right.
But this is like the early days of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. As soon as, and it didn't take long, as soon as George Soros was on board, I was like, okay, all right, I see. This is what we're going to do. And based on who's supporting it, maybe you approach stuff with a wary eye. So when this guy here, Klaus Schwab, is like, oh, yeah, self-driving cars are awesome, you're like, okay, now I get it. No, thank you.
Yep. Would it be any surprise to hear, I want to see your papers, please, come out of this guy's mouth?
No.
And what was it? He was at that conference. We played this a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was just last week, where he was talking about how we force your behavior.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I wonder if I still have that. Listen to this. I mean, the guy is spooky, and he's got a lot of influence.
You now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies.
Oh, this is actually not Klaus. This is BlackRock's head.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, and BlackRock is in with WEF big time, and they plot all of this stuff together. And one of the things they're talking about is forcing you to behave in the way they want you to.
You have to force behaviors,
so this is that douchebag Fink, right? Larry Fink from BlackRock.
We are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year, and what we're doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
we're doing the same.
And so it's
They're
just
doing the same thing.
You have to force
Vanguard.
behaviors.
So
yeah,
you gotta force behaviors. You have to. You know why? Because the people are so stupid. So you have to force them to do the right thing. I mean, that's Klaus Schwab. That's Larry Fink. That's the Vanguard CEO.
George Soros, all of them.
George Soros, you name it. All these people are plotting it for us. It's the Great Reset. It's great. And part of that is this environmental movement. Here's another fun story, which is connected to the green movement. At least 115 decaying bodies were found at a storage facility for a green funeral operator after neighbors reported abhorrent smells emanating from the location in rural southern Colorado, calling it a disturbing discovery. Yeah, 115 dead people that are decaying.
They don't know who they are. They don't know that they don't have the IDs on them. So a couple of things with the story. One, I love the one neighbor who lives across from the storage unit, a house. The funeral parlor home is on the other side of this house, and they said, "Yeah, I noticed I thought it was a dead animal or something for a while. I wasn't sure what it was." I mean, can you imagine the smell of 150?
Yeah, eating pure is not going to help you with that.
No, you're going to need more than 6.
Yeah.
Wow. That's gross.
They've dragged them out of there now. They don't know if they were telling people that they were going to bury them because they were part of the green movement, and that would mean you are buried without a coffin, and you go back to the earth, and it's all a wonderful, beautiful thing.
They bury you just in the dirt.
Yeah.
Just tossed in a hole, and they cover you up.
Or you get buried, or you go without any embalming fluid or anything. You have to be taken care of, I think, within the first 48 hours. If not, then it has to be embalmed, because what happens is, you end up decaying and smelling. So they're in the middle of the investigation on that from the funeral home, because they honestly, they don't know who these people are. If they were people that were, families were told that their loved ones were buried or cremated, and then they just tossed them into the house, or if they were, they don't know where these bodies are from and who they are. Really sad, and pretty incredible that, I mean, the next time you drive past a skunk in your neighborhood that got run over, 115 human bodies decaying. Ooh,
that's got to be bad.
Oh,
yeah. I don't want to be in the neighborhood.
No,
really don't.
No, I do not either.
That's where a good realtor comes in.
Yes. Thank you.
Keep you out of that neighborhood, right?
Right.
Hey, how about that place that's right by the funeral home there?
Yeah, you probably don't want that.
Probably don't want that.
All right, let me tell you about the best wholesale land value in the state of Texas. Never before offered prime Texas acreage on Saturday, October 21st. So a week from this Saturday, you're going to have the opportunity to make a great purchase. The new section grand opening of prime Texas properties at wholesale prices. Get a brand new lake access property, a barn dominium, ready for your finishes on 6+ acres for only $119,900. Or 3 10-acre Lakeview estates priced to sell in one day from only $49,900. Limited availability. Don't miss out. On Saturday, October 21st, you can own 2+ acres of direct dockable lakefront on a trophy bass lake for only $59,900. It's just minutes to town for shopping and dining, and these properties are serviced by gated entrance, paved roads, utilities, and high-speed internet to work from home if you want. Multi-million-dollar clubhouse, equestrian center, and resort-style pool exclusively for owners. Call 765-LAKE-NOW. 765-LAKE-NOW. It's a new section, grand opening, not this coming Saturday, but a week from Saturday, the 21st. Buy directly from the developer and save thousands on October 21st. These properties are wholesale priced to sell in one day. Call 765-LAKE-NOW. That's 765-525-3669. Or online at txlanddeal.com. That's texaslanddeal.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Meanwhile, this clip was sent our way featuring a John Stossel interview. Haven't seen John Stossel in a while.
Yeah.
But he's got an interview here with Judith Curry, who is a climatologist. So this will probably be really, really good.
It is good.
Is it good?
She's a real one. Yeah.
She's a real one?
Yeah.
This reminded us of our chat with Roman Balmakov.
Yeah, on the Free Thought
from
Friday, September 29th show.
Epic.
Mm-hmm. Epic Times.
Yeah, we did that it's September 29th, I think, as you mentioned, Free Think Friday show. But watch this between John Stossel and Judith Curry.
The 1992 Climate Treaty of the UN to prevent dangerous anthropogenic climate change. 196 countries, including the U.S., signed this. This was in 1992, before there was any evidence that humans were impacting the climate. And they went ahead with this treaty. So you can see that the policy cart was way out in front of the scientific horse from the very beginning. So the IPCC's mandate was to look for dangerous human-caused climate change. The IPCC wasn't supposed to focus on any benefits of warming. They weren't supposed to focus on natural climate variability. They were just supposed to look for the signal of dangerous human-caused climate change. Okay, that was their mandate.
Wow.
Okay, so, and then the national funding agencies directed all the funding in the field to look for dangerous human-caused climate change. So anybody
if
who
you're
wanted...
a scientist and you say, well, we don't know that this is a problem, you don't get funded.
There you go.
Yep.
Just like,
Yes.
Yep.
That's how it works. I mean, and remember, we learned from Roman 1991, it was the Club of Rome saying, look.
Yeah, and then just in 1992, the next year, they're already signing, was it 160 countries signed off on this? Come on.
Yeah, so 1991, they were like, hey, communism, it's falling, so we need to make humans the enemy, and we do it through climate policy.
And they've done a great job of that.
They
have done a great job. I remember hearing Rush talk about this in the early 90s. And I would always think, Rush, come on, nobody's going to buy into this. We're not going to buy into the climate change. Come on, nobody cares. Look what happened.
I was just thinking yesterday. Because you know, a lot of times you can just
Rush Limbaugh
you can remember where you were when you hear something, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it was somewhere between 1999 and 2001 when I lived in this particular house, and I was thinking to myself, as Rush was playing, talking about the absolute normalization of pedophilia is coming to our world. And look, and I remember thinking,
no way.
Come on now.
Come on, that's a bridge too far. We're not crossing that.
And here we are.
Incredible. Yep. Then there's this clip of Australian geologist Ian Plimer.
I love him.
Who says we're already at net zero.
Interesting.
We have the beauty of satellites, and we can measure things with satellites. And we can measure the number of trees on the planet with satellites. And we've done that over the whole planet. We've counted the number of trees in the whole world. We can measure how much carbon dioxide is emitted by burning coal and by burning petroleum, because you can measure the tons which are actually used. We can measure how much carbon dioxide is emitted from smelting, because you know how many tons of metal are produced. And we work out that the planet is already at net zero. Vegetation is sucking up more carbon dioxide than the planet's humans are emitting. So we're already at net zero. Now that creates a scientific problem. Well, where the hell does the excess carbon dioxide come from? Well, it comes out of the oceans. About 3% of all emissions on planet Earth are from humans. The rest come out of the oceans. Some comes out of
dry up the oceans.
Mammals breathing out, like ourselves. I'm breathing out 4% carbon dioxide.
We're going to stop
and
that.
Some of it comes out of volcanoes. So
too much breathing.
You can do some very simple calculations to show that we are being fed an enormous load of rubbish.
Thank you.
And to make matters worse, if you look back in the past, we can see from looking at the past that every time we've had an ice age, we've had more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than now. So it's clear that carbon dioxide cannot drive global warming. And you can't dismiss the past, because if you do, by saying, and I've had this said to me, oh, yes, that's the past, you geologists deal with stuff in the past, but we're dealing with the present. If you use that argument, you then have to say, oh, wait a minute, the laws of physics and chemistry in the past were different from the laws of physics and chemistry now. So really, this is the greatest scientific and financial scam that we've ever been fed. It's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt the average person who's now suffering terribly from inflation and high cost of living. And much of that is just a simple cost of energy. And energy makes everything cheap or expensive.
How is this menace to society walking free?
I don't know.
Why hasn't he been imprisoned?
Well, he has.
Placed in a
He's from
dungeon
Australia.
somewhere. Well, that's true. It is a penal colony. So I guess that has been done. That's, he's got to be talking heresy to the climate people, the warmists on this planet. They hate this guy.
And the more people that are speaking like this, and obviously we've played a couple. The more there's two people we've seen, and I realize there's more than that. But are they making any kind of impact?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like
they get drowned out.
Yeah, I feel like there's no impact being made. Now, I could be wrong. As prices continue to rise on everything because of energy, people hopefully will say, hey, how come we don't have cheap energy anymore? And then, once
they won't connect the
look
dots.
into
They'll
it.
blame big fill in the blank.
Well, there's too many people breathing.
Yeah, that's true.
On this planet. That's the problem. You got people, you got mammals, including humans, that are breathing a lot. And then what happens is that CO2 comes out of their fat face, and you got this problem with global warming.
Fortunately, if the oceans weren't doing what the oceans normally do,
we need a big paper towel to soak those oceans up and put a stop to their CO2 nightmare, right? Let's soak up the oceans with big Bounty towels.
No, Brawny is the quicker picker-upper, right?
But Bounty is the one that I think that, I don't know. Use them both.
Yeah, but Viva is soft, guys.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
soft to the touch. So I think you need to go with
I
Viva.
want the quicker
Do we have
picker-upper.
time to play? Do you want to do the Wisconsin women's basketball coach and what she had to say about us whiteys?
More than I want to live. That's how much I want to do it.
Okay.
More than I want to live.
Because she's going through her basketball roster, their Wisconsin women's basketball team.
Okay.
And here's how she broke it down for us.
If you look at my team, we're pretty much the United Nations. I'm the first Indian woman to ever play at the Power Five. I have kids who are Nigerian and kids who are Dominican and kids who are Mexican and kids who are run-of-the-mill white, because they're still there too. But no, so I think it's really important that, and my mom is white, so no one is offended. My mom is a white woman from the Berkshires, very white, okay?
So she knew she had said something wrong.
Yeah, well, because she run-of-the-mill white.
Run-of-the-mill. They're there too. Okay.
Like, these people aren't even worth mentioning, okay? We've got some special people here, but then we got the whiteys, too, which we don't like. They're disgusting. They're still here. Can you imagine that?
In Madison, Wisconsin, we still have some run-of-the-mill whiteys.
Yeah, why do you have whiteys in Madison, Wisconsin? Oh, jeez. Every time. Of course, you can't have reverse racism. That doesn't exist. Racism against white people is not racism.
No.
Right?
No, it is not.
You got it.
Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear you whining, you run-of-the-mill white people.
I mean, you already based it on a false premise by saying racism against white people.
Yeah, there's no such
isn't
thing.
racism. There
No
is
such thing.
I just love that. Okay, I know that my racist self was just exposed. So let me throw up my mom is white, so I can say this.
Yes.
Oh,
exactly.
Come on.
This is interesting, too. Speaking of the racial component here, California's newly enacted Ebony Alert, first of its kind in the nation to prioritize the search for black youth gone missing. Now, why doesn't the Amber Alert cover black youth, too?
Yeah, this whole time.
I think it does,
I thought that
right?
was a part of it.
Is the ebony or is the Amber Alert only for white people?
It's only for run-of-the-mill
and then you
white
got the
kids that are missing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got the ebony alert for the special kids who go missing.
But it's not.
What the hell?
It's not.
What's not?
The Amber Alert. It's not just for white people.
Yeah.
Well, why do we have the ebony alert then?
See, they needed the ebony alert.
I don't know.
They needed the ebony one.
I think the problem is that the Amber Alert also has white people.
Ouch! And they shouldn't be included.
Okay.
In the Amber Alert. All right.
So
now I can go with you on that.
Why don't we even care about those white kids?
Well, we don't. Frankly, we don't. They're vanilla. They're Caspers. They're basically invisible. Just ignore them. They'll be breathing less CO2 out into the atmosphere. It'll be good to get rid of
Can we get a
white
honky
kids.
alert? Can we get one of those for the white kids?
Is there any reason to bring attention to the fact that a white kid is missing? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I apologize.
No.
You know what the deal is? Ebony and Ivory
Oh, no. No.
We
live
thought.
together.
We thought.
In perfect harmony on my piano keyboard.
Yeah.
Not in the alerts, though.
Why can't we? Why can't we?
Not in the alerts.
But Governor Newsom signed Senate Bill 673 into law, making California the very first state to create this alert notification system, similar to Amber Alert, but it addresses black children and young women. Okay. We just keep segregating ourselves,
Yes,
don't
we
we?
do.
I thought that was a bad thing, but no. If you're a liberal, it's perfectly acceptable to do this kind of segregation nonsense. Check us out on Overtime coming up later, and we'll see you again tomorrow, right here.
This is Pat Gray
Monday.
Unleashed.